All right, this is the review for the quiz on congruent triangles. Okay, example 1, given that triangle JAY is congruent to triangle SIL, one who came up with those letters, you have to list all the congruent corresponding parts. There's going to be 6 answers you're going to have. You're going to have 3 angles congruent to 3 other angles, and you're going to have 3 sides congruent to 3 other sides. So let's start with the angles. Angle J is listed first, so that corresponds to angle S, which is listed first. So angle J is congruent to angle S. Then A is listed second, and I is listed second. So I'll say angle A is congruent to angle I. And then Y is listed third, and so is L. So I'll say angle Y is congruent to angle L. Okay, so we took care of all the angles. Now let's take care of all the sides. I'll say segment JA, first and second, is congruent to segment SI, first and second. Then I'll say segment AY, second and third, is congruent to segment IL, second and third. And I'll say segment JY, first and third, is congruent to segment SL, first and third. Okay. Example 2, given that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DBC, solve for X. So look at the order. AB, first and second, is congruent to DB, first and second, which means that they're equal. So I'll do 7x plus 10 equals 9x minus 2. Solve that for x, so I'll subtract the 2x on each side. I'll subtract 7x on each side, and I'll add 2 to each side. So I get 12 equals 2x, which means 6 equals x, and x equals 6. And it might not be a bad idea just to double check, substitute it in. 7 times x, 7 times 6 is 42, plus 10 equals 52. 9 times x, 9 times 6 is 54. Minus 2 also equals 52. So since they each equal 52, I'm very confident that my answer of x equals 6 is correct. Number 3, solve for y. Okay, so y is on BC. And if you look at the original problem, BC, second and third, corresponds to EF, second and third. So BC is going to be congruent to EF. So you're going to do BC equals EF. So 6y minus 8 equals 10. People might accidentally set equal to 6. Just be careful. The reason why it equals 10 is because BC is congruent to EF, because of the order. Think back to number 1. So 6y equals 18. Y equals 3. Let's just do a quick double check. 6 times y, 6 times 3 is 18. Minus 8 does in fact equal 10. Good. For numbers 4 through 9, determine whether you have enough information to prove the 2 triangles are congruent. If you do, state the postulate or theorem that can be used to prove the triangles congruent, and write a congruent statement. If you do not, you can just write not enough information. So we're looking for our 5 shortcuts. So just to refresh your memory, the 5 shortcuts are the following. We have side, side, side. We have side, angle, side. We have angle, side, angle. we have angle, angle, side, and the last one is hypotenuse, leg. So number 4, side, 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 side. So this one is going to be yes, because of side, side, side. But you have to write a congruent statement. For example, triangle DFE. Now the order matters. So if I do DFE, I'm going 1 tick mark, then 2. Okay, DFE, 1 tick mark, then 2. You have to go in the same order for this triangle. 1 tick mark, then 2. 1 tick mark, then 2. So congruent to triangle IHG. By side, side, side. Number 5, does it match any of our shortcuts? Yes, angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. So I'll say triangle MNL. It's easier to match them up when you have the angles labeled with a certain number of arcs, because you can easily see that M corresponds to X. So if M is first, X has to be first. You can easily see that N corresponds to Z. So if N is second, Z is going to be second. And that means L corresponds to Y. And then you're going to say by, angle, angle, side. Number 6, does that match any of our criteria? No. Angle, angle, angle is not a thing for triangle congruence. They may be congruent, but we cannot conclude that for a fact. So I'm going to say not enough information. Number 6, it goes side, side, angle, side, side, angle. Does that match any of our criteria? No. It's not the second one because it's not the included angle, which we'll talk about in a minute. Okay? So it's not the included angle. So I'm going to say not enough information. They may be congruent, but we don't have enough information to prove that. However, number 8 does work because it goes, again, pause the video if you need to figure out the answer ahead of time, but it goes side, included angle, side. Side, included angle, side. So this one is side, angle, side. So I'll say triangle BCA. So again, the order matters. So I did 1 tick mark, then 2. 1 tick mark, then 2. I have to go in the same order here. 1 tick mark, then 2. 1 tick mark, then 2. 1 tick mark, then 2. So it's congruent to triangle YZX by side, angle, side. And number 9, does that match any of our criteria? Pause the video if you need to. Angle, included side, angle, angle, included side, angle. So angle, side, angle. So triangle EFG. E corresponds to K. F corresponds to J. G corresponds to M. Again, that one was angle, side, angle. Number 10, what additional information would you need to be able to prove the 2 triangles below are congruent by HL? So You already know that JI is congruent to itself, so you do not need to be told that. Do not say that you need JI to be congruent to JI because you already know that. So you already know that the leg is congruent to itself. You already have the right angles. So what you need is you need the hypotenuses to be congruent. So you need to know that IT is congruent to JK. That's what you need. If you have the hypotenuse congruent, then you could say the two triangles are congruent by HL, hypotenuse leg. Okay. But that is the end of that. That was the quiz review on congruent triangles.